back to Bibliophiles Audiophiles. Today we are doing On the Naughty List, which is a book that has 4 short stories in it, so we will be doing them individually. We found this one at the Priceful Bookstore, right? Is it Priceful Bookstore?
I think.
I don't remember the exact name of it. It's the bookstore, used bookstore, Priceful. We got this when they were having the, buy 10, get them for $1 each sale.
No, I think it was they had a dollar section or something.
Oh, that's what it was.
And then every book ended up being 50 cents each instead.
Yeah, so it was really nice. Bought a lot of books there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got this book for 50 cents. And then it is not on Kindle Unlimited. And it is $12.99 on Amazon Kindle. So 50 cents was a pretty good steal.
I agree.
There are no trigger warnings for this book at all.
I would say sexual content.
Sexual content, age gap, cringe. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it, yeah. I don't think there's any fertility or anything bad like that.
Death of a parent.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so yeah, death of a parent too. I didn't find any trigger warnings on any platform for this book.
Yeah. Well,
so maybe those.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Cool.
So we're gonna switcheroo.
Yeah, sorry, we've never done a book like this before. I did not realize when I bought this book because the cover looked stupid. That was the only inspiration that I had. And I was like, it's
fair.
Christmas themed. We need a December themed book.
Yeah.
So,
but we're gonna do a switcheroo because the reviews are obviously for a collective of all of the books.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that first, and then before each book we'll do the description. But anyways, so this is the lowest rating I can find on Storygraph. It says 3-star. Got raised from a 2-star to a 3 based on this last story. Normally love these short story romances, but this one fell asleep a little flat. And for 5-star, there's a person who received a copy through NetGalley in exchange for an honest review, full review to follow, and there is no full review, I don't think.
Oh, so I guess they DNF'd?
No, they put it as a 5-star. We'll just jump over to Goodreads. So Goodreads, the 1 star they have here is more corny than naughty in this cliched anthology of warmed over holiday shorts. Have Yourself a Curvy Little Christmas is the lone standout. A tad ridiculous, but very sweet. And 5-star. 4 stories by 4 different authors. What more could a reader want? They were excellently wrote. And I love how everyone did get a happy ending, even though it took the characters a while to get there. I forgot to mention that on Goodreads, the average rating is a 3.79. And on Storygraph, the average rating is a 3.28. And on Amazon, the average rating is a 4.3, actually. 1-star review says, terrible, very immature writing styles. The last story was half interesting. The others were plain, that's not a word, Filtj.
Filth?
I guess. Although, I don't know how I expected, sorry, dyslexia. Although I don't know what I expected given the title. 5-star. I love this book. I'm a big fan of Lori's and her books never disappoint. It's hard to put her books down. LOL. I really enjoyed the book.
Just Lori, not the rest of them, though.
Mm-mm.
Screw the rest of them.
Well, maybe she didn't realize, because Lori's, I think, is the name.
Biggest name, yeah.
Biggest on there.
My description for the first book is Christmas Bonus by Lori Foster. The workplace is heating up for the holidays when 2 colleagues who are planning a Christmas party side by side end up making love their main order of business. That's it. They're all really short. So take it away, James.
James.
There's some spoilers coming up, sweetie. You better cover your ears.
All right. My first note. His thoughts about her are giving me an ick. I don't know if it's the 10-year age gap or because there was no character development first.
Sorry.
You're fine. I keep doing it too.
Repeat that. You missed it.
Bruh, because,
Okay,
like...
you said you don't know if it was a 10-year age gap or what?
Or that there was no character development. Like, it
That's
literally
true.
just dived into him being like, oh, I thought she was hot when she was, like, 17, and now she's, like, 27 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or 23 or something. Yeah, like, only a few years older.
Yeah. This is the one where she lost her dad and she was crying into his shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that... I feel like it had more potential. If there was, like, more of story and more growth and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been a lot better.
It just seemed more like a Pornhub scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was
That's
just
the
like,
best way to put it.
my boss, her dad died. I comforted her. I'm going to go to her house because I found her erotica that she dropped on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like...
Yeah. I forgot about that,
and so he just shows up and they start, like, making out stuff, and I'm just like, okay, well, that's it.
Wait, is that this one?
Yeah. He found her, like, he went to her office to find her after she kissed him, and she was gone, but he found a piece of paper on the floor,
Yeah.
and it was, like, erotica that she had written about him.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, there's, like, 4 stories in this. You're right. My first note, though, that escalated quickly.
It did. It went from, like, oh, I watched her grow up to take this.
Didn't they kiss under the mistletoe?
Yeah.
So, like, that's how that went. Boom.
Yeah.
And then, like, she was, like, all into it. And then he was just, like...
Stiff as a board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he was her daddy's best friend. Or best colleague.
Yeah.
So, like, that would have been awkward.
In the middle of, like, work.
Yeah, then, like, the secretary and 2 other dudes show up. And then ladies, like, or the girl, whatever her name was. Honestly,
Man,
can't even remember her
I'm
name.
trying to remember what her name is.
She was just like, there's more mistletoe down the hall, and, like, the lady disappears with both guys. I'm just kind of like, ugh. So, like, age gap. And then, like, I don't know if that was, like, some reverse harem joke or whatever.
I don't mind age gap.
Normally, I don't, but, like, only if they didn't know each other when the young one was young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I don't like.
The
That's
fact that
ick.
she was in high school when they first met, and now she's...
Yeah, because she was 17.
Yeah, now
And-
she's an adult, and he's always fantasized about her, even when she had cute things in her hair, and... Yeah, like that. Ick. But
That's-
if you're, like, in your 20s and you met, and he's in his 30s or even 40s or whatever, that's fine. But if he knew you as a child
It's a little...
and watched you grow up...
It's a little
Yeah,
pedophilic.
it is very pedophilic. And I'm just like, his thoughts towards her, every time they were sexual, I was like, ugh.
That's why I don't understand, like, this is the one trope that I will never get behind, because it's just icky to me, is the dad's best friend or something like that,
Yeah.
or mom's best friend or something like
Yeah.
that.
I really want to read the book Your Dad Will Do, because I think it sounds funny and it sounds like an awesome move to make if she was wronged, but I don't know if I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Like, imagine sleeping with a guy and then sleeping with his dad. Like, that would just be... Yeah.
But despite the fact that this was like a cringy kind of situation, the fact that they, like, mourned is not the right word. It's the complete opposite of the word I'm thinking of. Fawned over each other
Yeah.
for just as long as they did, and then they finally got together. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, I thought that was really sweet. I just wish he wasn't an actual high schooler when that started.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he's talking about how she used to have little bells in her hair and stuff like that, and I'm just like, please stop talking. Like, no. Again with the smelling, she put on perfume before they were doing the diddly because she wanted to smell good. And he got mad because he wanted her to smell like her normal delicious scent. I cringed so hard, I about broke my spine. Because my nerves started pinching so hard in my spine that I couldn't breathe because of how hard I was cringing away from my book.
Yeah.
I don't like the smell.
Anytime there's anything that has to do with smelling in a book, I instantly think about you.
I'm instantly turned off. I'm just like, no, thank you. I am done.
Ugh. The sex scene, though.
I did like the sex scene, though.
It was spicy,
It
but
was spicy.
also low-key cringy.
It was. Yeah. Because, like, at some points, it would be getting, like, heated up, and then all of a sudden he would call it, like, her mound or her sex or your
Yeah.
delicious scent. And I'm just like, oh, okay, no, you ruined it.
Don't call it a mound. Mound is a chocolate bar.
Mound is what is it?
Coconut.
Is it mounds?
Mounds,
And they
yeah.
have almonds or
Almond
something in
Joy.
them?
There's
Yes.
Almond Joy and then there's Mounds.
Are they the
They're
same
both
thing?
coconuts. It's basically the same thing, except I think Mounds is dark chocolate and Almond Joy is milk chocolate, but Almond Joy also has an almond on it.
Okay.
Mounds is just coconut.
Okay. I love coconut chocolate. It's so good. Yeah, no, I can't. There's several books several of these books, it's older. You could tell it's older when you're reading because the way they describe women's sexes is just weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I don't remember what book it was, but I read one book one time, and it referred to a woman's as her slick cavern. And I cried. I laughed so hard because I'm like, I don't even remember what book it was. I know it was an older one, though. And it said that he was like trailing his hand up her thigh. And I'm kind of like, oh, okay, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like, then he reached the apex of her slick cavern. And I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I'm out.
She must have gotten a lot of.
If it's a cavern.
That's not true though. Like no matter
goes
how
back.
much it goes back.
I'm proof of that. Childbirth. Just imagine it just stayed this big. Anyways, that's pretty much all my notes. Besides, they smashed and got engaged.
My last note is that the epilogue was super cringy. It's at the office Christmas party.
Oh my god!
And they announced their like engagement to everybody.
And everyone's like, "I knew it.
I knew it. We were taking bets.
We were taking bets." And it's like, what, Janine? I think it was the secretary.
That was her name, Janine.
Yeah, and then she was like, "All right, everybody pay up." And I was like, "Shut up." No.
I could never do that.
No.
I can never date anybody I work
And then
with.
everyone was like, oh, but, you guys were asking us out, like, me and her. And then they're just like, oh, yeah, we need that. We were just, like, wanting to push you guys along. And I'm like, that's not the way you do that.
No.
Because, like, what if one of them would have said yes to somebody else?
Yeah.
Then you're just screwed.
Yeah.
That's it for the first book.
What did you rate it?
A 2 out of 5.
I can't remember what I rated these.
I almost gave it a 1. The only reason I gave it a 2 is because it was okay.
I think I was generous and I did a 3.5.
Yeah, if I do a 1, that means absolute cow pile of, steaming hot. Oops. And I will never recommend it to anybody. This is almost that. This was almost a steaming pile of cow shit.
I'll admit this book as a whole was a pretty decent palate cleanser, though.
Yeah.
After we finished the Knock 'Em Out series.
It was, yeah. I will admit
nice.
that. I'm kind of in a book funk now after Knock 'Em Out.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for the second now?
Yeah.
Okay. The second one is Naughty Under the Mistletoe by Carly Phillips. I'm going to get all sensual for you. A no-nonsense lawyer intent on seducing her boss ends up having a scandalous and utterly magical moment with his twin instead. I'm going to be honest, I don't remember this book at all.
Really?
Oh, no, wait, yeah. Oh. No, I remember, yeah. Okay, I remember this one.
Okay.
I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, the twin? But I remember now.
So, my first note on this is one of the quotes that one of the twins said. I'm assuming it's the mailman character, which is Max.
Yeah.
Where he says, the only thing worth staying up all night for is sex. And I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. My first note is that this author, Carly Phillips, dedicated this book to her mom and dad. And it's basically erotica.
Close. Close.
It's about how this girl I think she got drunk or something, and she was going to pull her boss/crush behind a Christmas tree and make out with him. So she grabs this guy, yanks him behind the tree, plants a steamy one on him, only to figure out it's his twin brother.
Not only a steamy one, he mated with her tongue.
Yeah.
Is the correct verbiage that they used. And I cringed so hard because that is the ickiest way to say make out.
That is the only horrible way. Like, there is nothing else.
No, there could be worse, I'll admit.
Yeah.
Or something of equal level.
Yeah.
But that was disgusting.
But then, like, the twin that she was trying to get doesn't even like her. So he's just like, nah, bro, you're good. And I'm just like, that kind of made me a little bit mad, because I was kind of like, she's not property. Like, you can't just give her away.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I'm my own person.
Oh, did you also notice the random missing Y's in this book?
I listened to this book, so...
Okay, I read this book, and every once in a while there'd be a word that wouldn't have a Y, and I would be completely confused until I realized it was missing a Y. It would be words at the end, in the middle, in the beginning. There'd just be no Y's. It was weird. I don't know if it did that on Kindle.
I mean, maybe, because I feel like there were a couple times when I was listening to this, and it sounded weird, but I'm not sure if that was the reason why. I kind of was in and out of listening to the book.
Yeah.
So, not this one particularly.
Yeah.
But...
Oh, he also refers to her sex as her feminine mound. No. I wrote that one down in quotations.
No.
This one's basically just erotica, because, like, they make out behind a tree, and then she's just like, I guess you can find me later, and then, like, he does, and they have sex. That's pretty much it.
Another funny quote I wrote down from this, though, I guess they were trying to make small talk, so one of them walked up and was just like, how about the Mets? I always find it funny, like...
How about the Mets?
I always find it funny when people, like, just say that randomly.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Do you have any more notes?
I have one more.
Okay, I have, like, 4 more.
Okay. My next note and my last note is, so she ran because she thought he was going to be her boss. He wasn't. Yeah. And then they make up, and she says she's leaving the desk behind. So is she quitting her job anyways? Even though he's not the boss. That part was unclear, because it never really explained her going back to work.
There was some confusion there, but I don't really remember.
So
the only thing I remember about this is that I was listening to this while I was in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru.
Yeah. You're like just, thinking about your order.
Yeah. One of the things I wrote down was a Christmas present drive at MSU, which is my college that I went to. Mm-hmm. I don't remember why it correlated in my head, but I'll explain what it was. So what we did we did a drive, so people would buy Christmas presents for kids ages like kindergarten to like 2nd grade.
They did that in the book.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of that. So like we'd do that, and then we'd have a day where we would all wrap the presents and then separate them between like this is for kindergartners, this is for 1st graders, this is for 2nd graders. And then we'd all dress up in, like, Christmassy clothes and go to an elementary school in Newark, because I'm from Jersey. So we'd go to Newark, and that's scary.
Is it?
It's not as bad as Birmingham, but...
Up there.
Up there.
Yeah.
So, going there, I had to figure out how to parallel park.
Oh, no.
That's how I failed my driving test.
I'd rather walk all the way to wherever I need to go than to parallel park.
I had to have someone direct me because I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So we had to parallel park because there was a parking lot right next to the school, but they said, no, you can't use that because that's the parking for the physical therapy building. And
oh my God.
We're like, okay, thanks. We're not going to be here all day.
I'm trying to spread joy to children, but whatever.
We had some guy come in as Santa.
Yeah.
Someone was dressed as Santa's elf. It was really cute. And we would sing Christmas songs and all that stuff. So it reminded me of that because that was like core memory for me in college.
I think that's like exactly what they were doing in the book. And it was like her idea, and then he loved it because it was her idea.
Probably.
Something like that. Yeah. Some plot. Would this one be considered a why choose?
No, because
that
would be more like multiple lovers.
Okay, I thought this was more like why choose between my career or him.
No.
Okay.
One of my other notes says, make love and sweetheart on day 1. And then, that's the one thing I hated about this book, is they called it making love. I'm like, y'all, you just started doing this, like, today.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of, especially this one, because I wrote this in quotes, but that's not what he said, but it's basically what he meant. He said, she's my forever, is kind of what he was saying. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, bro, you met her 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm in love. No. When people say making love, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Red flag. I had an ex one time, and he would tell me, like, I never slept with him, never intended to, but, like, he would always try to pressure me into it. And so at one point, he was like, well, when we sleep together, I'm not going to call it sex. I'm going to call it making love. And I'm just like, Keep in mind I was 14 at the time too, and I was just kind of like, please stop. And he was 17. And so, yeah, and so I was just kind of like, no. So yeah, we broke up shortly after that. I'm done if you're done. Are you done?
My final note.
Oh, okay. I thought I miscounted.
Which, going back to how she ran away because of she thought he was going to be his boss. He was going to be boss man.
Yeah.
Wouldn't they have asked her or told her that she was moving to a new firm before just announcing it to someone? Even like, let's say Friends, for example, the episode where Chandler is at work and he falls asleep and he's just like, yeah, that sounds like a great plan. And really what happened was they came up with a plan for him to move to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And he agreed to move to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Like, that was a discussion they had. Mind you, he was asleep and he never really actually consented to it, but...
Yeah. I mean,
but there was a conversation and it was brought up.
When they first met, this guy literally told her, I don't remember the names, the guy told her...
Max.
Yeah, Max was like, I do not want to work for my father. I do not want to work at this job. I don't want this position. So she hears a voicemail, and all of a sudden she's like, oh my gosh, he's getting the job. And I'm just like, no, bro. He told you specifically, like 24 hours ago, literally yesterday, that he doesn't... I think this book was only a span of like 3 days. Maybe 2.
No. Like a day.
Yeah, really? Just one day? Like 124 hours?
Yeah, because like they were at the Christmas party and they made out and then he took her to a bar and they stayed till after it closed because he lived upstairs.
Yeah.
And then they went upstairs. They made love. And then
they made love.
They fell asleep and then they woke up. She woke up. He wasn't in the bed because he was in the shower. And then she got up and I don't know.
Oh, the brother called.
The brother called and he left a voicemail. And that's when she heard the voicemail and she was just like...
And it was literally just him being like, hey, Mr. Boss Man. And she's like, oh my gosh, he's going to be my boss. I'm like,
yeah.
You're really dumb.
And then she was just like, laters. I'm outie. Peace.
I'm outie.
And then he comes out and he's like, well, where'd she go? And then he hears the
voicemail
like, and he's like, well, that'll do it.
Well, darn.
That'll do it. And then he went after her, and then he explained, and then, mwah, she's my forever.
She's my forever. Mm-hmm. We made love. I rated this one a 2 out of 5.
I did a 3. I was really generous here.
Really generous.
3. It wasn't ew. It was kind of sweet.
It had moments, but at the same time,
yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
I'm literally shaking. Like, honestly, these books aren't that bad. It's just not my cup of tea.
I think they have potential to be better, and that's probably why I rated it so high.
Yeah.
Because if they were drawn out a little bit, like, it would be
I don't even remember when these books came out. I know it was early 2000s because I checked. It's in the beginning of my book. I know it's early 2000s. Like, I think 2013 was one of the latest released ones. But I just want to say writing has came a long way just in the last 10 years because... What?
This is publication, not gation.
Because we're not gay.
No. Publication date is 2014.
Okay, so yeah. So this came out in 2014. So all those books were 2014 or prior.
That's 10 years ago.
Yes, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. Writing has came a long way just in the last 10 years. Because you think of Sarah J. Maas, and then I'm totally blanking now.
Lucy Score,
Holly Jackson, Kat Blackthorne. No, we're not counting her. No, like, seriously, you count all these, like, you just look at all these newer authors, and you're just like, wow, I love this writing.
Yeah.
You read books from 5, 10, 15 years ago, and you're just kind of like, her mound, and it's talking about a woman like it's their property.
Yeah.
The age gap is a thing, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, back in, like, the old days, like, I mean the old days, you know, like, corsets and stuff.
Yeah.
There was age gaps there. Serious age
18
gaps.
18 to 50, woo!
Woo! That's all my notes.
Yeah, that's all mine, 2 out of 5. 3 out of 5?
Yeah.
Okay. So next is, I don't mean to be very negative about this because I do actually rate one higher than two. Beth, what's her name? Some kind of wonderful. Two old friends who seem to have little left in common are coming home for the holidays, but when they end up stranded together during a blizzard, they know just how to keep each other warm.
Ciotta.
Ciotta. So Beth Ciotta. Okay. Third book. Love how the female character has a full name, but then her friend is Gazelle, in parentheses, just Gazelle.
I don't even
You
remember
listened? Okay, because, like, literally the first paragraph, it's like, oh, this is my name. It's like 3 or 4 names.
Did you say gazelle?
Yeah, Gazelle.
In Lexi girl,
Mm-hmm.
she pronounced it Giselle.
I've met a girl with this name spelling, and I asked her how it's pronounced, and she said Gazelle. So I'm assuming it's all Gazelle, or it could be Giselle. I don't know.
I didn't read it, so I don't know what the words looked like.
GG here.
GG. Good game, bro.
It literally said, like, it's like, I'm going home for the holidays, and, somehow it brought up her name. My friend / coworker, Gazelle, just Gazelle, is going with me, and I'm like, why could you not be bothered? And, like, multiple times throughout the book, it'll say, GG, in parentheses, just Gigi. Like, there's no name for her. I'm like, why could you not name her? Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It was weird.
To be fair with this one, I zoned out a lot.
So you zoned out this one too?
Yeah, a lot. Like, I just couldn't focus on it.
Yeah.
One thing that brought me out of my zoning out is I heard Zach's mom, and then it said, I guess, like, comma, once a widow, now deceased herself, and I was like,
What?
What kind of wording is that?
It reminded me of the History Channel, or no, the what is it? The Animal Channel,
the
National Geographic or something.
When you fall asleep,
Yeah, and it's like,
and you wake up in the middle of the night to that YouTube video playing. Yeah.
That, or it's like the mom and her cubs, they have to travel far or they'll be ferociously eaten, and I'm just like, whoa, like, that's kind of dark, but that's what that reminded me of. Like, I just read it in that voice.
Once a widow, now deceased.
Now deceased herself. I'm just like,
whoa.
Whoa.
One of the other things I noted, so they used to hide in a in a pantry together to talk or whisper secrets or whatever.
Kids stuff.
Yeah. How many spices are there? Because this said that there was a floor to ceiling spice rack.
Yeah.
How many seasons and spices and herbs and all that? How many are there?
I don't know.
Because I don't think there's enough to make a
whole wall
floor to
out
ceiling
of it, unless they're buying it by, like, the gallon or something.
That makes sense. If they have a pantry, I mean,
They got all the room.
They got all the room.
Meanwhile, my drawer is literally taped together. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
I
My
should have.
spice drawer is taped together.
I should have, because I kept opening and closing that drawer because I would put a little bit of sprinkles in the stuff I was making.
Yeah.
And then I'd put it away because I'm like, nah, that'll be enough. And then it wasn't enough, so I was just like,
Get back out. It is literally held together by tape.
I didn't notice.
It was that way when we moved in. We didn't notice until after we bought the house.
Oh.
And so we bought the house and I opened the drawer to put stuff in it, and it came off my hand. And then I was just like, babe. And he was like, I got it. And he got tape and taped it back together. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you think about the Cupcake Lovers Club? Did you think that was as cringy as I did?
I completely forgot about that, but yeah. I didn't even realize that was a thing until, like, later, because that was, I think, explained at the beginning of the book when I was just zonked out. Not high.
Not that
high.
No,
not that kind. Not just completely in my own world.
Just the
thinking
normal
about something else.
kind.
And then it later was just like, whatever the name of the cupcake business is, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then every once in a while, it would just bring up, like, cupcake related stuff, and I'm just like, that is so cringy. I don't know why it bothered me so much. It made me think it was, like, childish.
Well, it is a cheesy Christmas Carol play on things.
Okay, I should mention in the beginning of this episode, I hate Hallmark movies. Christmas movies.
I was waiting for when you were going to say that.
I completely forgot to mention that. I probably seem really mean by rating all these two stars out of 5, but I hate Christmas movies unless it's like The Polar Express or The Grinch, only the kind with Jim Carrey. Like
Home Alone? If you are about to say you do not like Home Alone, I am not going to be your friend anymore.
Listen, I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. I think the franchise is overused and abused.
Kind of hurt my feelings a little bit.
I mean, I like it. The kids want to watch it. My 3 siblings, they're all like 10 plus years younger than I am. And so that is like their favorite movie because naturally as a kid, you know, kicking some old guys' butt. Yeah. And they love it and they think it's hilarious. And like I used to love it growing up, but now that I'm an adult, I'm just kind of like sitting here picking apart like what would not work and like in the movie. I know, listen, blame my OCD or whatever you want to call it, but like no, I can't because like I'm sitting here watching it and I'm like that wouldn't work.
I mean, yeah, but it's
I
for
was
the
in
nostalgia.
the hospital 3 days ago in the emergency room, and they gave me pain medication, and I should have zonked out, but I couldn't because a cabinet door was open. That is my mind. I literally was laying there. My husband is like, "You're going to have to rest because you're going to be exhausted," and I'm like, "I can't. The cabinet door is open."
You were even talking about it when you got home.
Yeah, was I really? I don't remember getting home. I really don't. Like, I remember Nick being like, I'm sitting there talking to you, and then Nick's like, are you aware nobody can understand you? And that's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, I was standing here, he was sitting next to you
on
on
the
the couch.
You were sitting there like, yeah.
And then...
Yeah, And so I'm like, man, she can understand me.
I was just like, I think I know what you're saying, but I really was kind of like, I don't really know. Dude. And he looked at me and was like, I don't know what she's saying. And I'm like, okay, good. It wasn't just me.
It wasn't just me. I'm not having a stroke.
Sometimes, like, y'all say stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I thought it was, like, one of those moments, but no, it was, like, legit.
Okay, nobody understood me then.
You were, like, eating your food?
I was eating oh, no, it wasn't Wendy's.
It was Arby's.
Arby's, yeah. I wanted Wendy's, but they were closed.
And then you didn't finish eating it, and you put it down, and then I gave you a cookie. Before that, actually, and you took a bite of it and then you put it down, and Nick's like, you're gonna finish it? And he's like, no. You were like, no, I'm gonna throw up. And I was just like,
I was feeling nauseous bad because like the doctors gave me that medication, I think it's like Toradol. They gave it to me without letting me eat anything, and like they told me, they're like, okay, well, when you take this when you go home, you have to eat or you're gonna start throwing up. But then they gave it to me without letting me eat. Like, so I was nauseous the entire next day. Like, all day at the birthday party, I was on the verge of throwing up.
Nice.
It was horrible. So, I went to the emergency room, and I was there all night. I didn't get home till 2 o'clock in the morning.
I was here at her house the whole time.
Yeah, we were baking stuff for my son's birthday party the next day. And, like, I was holding him, and all of a sudden, like, I felt a popping in my shoulder, which is normal because my shoulders pop a lot. I have, 30-pound kids. And so I set him down, and then my arm went numb and started just radiating pain in my chest and my back and my shoulder. And, like, my arm was going numb and swelling. And my mom thought I was having a heart attack. And I had had an anxiety attack the night before. And so I was like, okay, she's serious. I'm going to die if I don't go to the emergency room. So we went just for them to be like, nah, you're all right. 3 hours for them to just be like, it might be a muscular issue. I don't know. Follow up your primary care provider. And I'm just like, seriously, that's going to be a $400 bill. Just for you guys to be like, I don't know. Maybe chill out.
The hospital that you went to is kind of
It is. It's terrible, but it was close, and I thought I was dying. So I didn't want to drive an hour to the good one.
Fair. Meanwhile, I was here. I was baking.
You're just baking stuff. You're just
I was making cookies, dipping pretzels into chocolate. It took me an hour to do those pretzels.
Yeah.
And then I burned myself like 3 times.
I mean, the birthday party turned out great, though.
It did.
I couldn't use my left arm the entire day, but hey.
It was fun, though.
It's still really sore, but, like, I'm able to move it now without crying. So that's nice. Apparently, if you hold a heavy kid for, like, 12 hours straight, you're gonna mess up your shoulder.
Nice.
Who knew?
Life hacks.
Yeah, really.
Do you have any more notes?
Not really.
Okay.
It's just it's literally just me writing the plot because I didn't have anything else to write. I had no notes.
I have a note. So in this one, the guy is a veteran, I guess. He got injured.
Yeah.
And whatever
his name is.
If you're interested in something like that, that's more not Christmassy, but like it's basically similar to that, but more drawn out. There's a series. I forgot the name of the series. I think it's the Wilder Brothers series by Carrie Ann Ryan. and it's about 6 or 7 siblings, all boys, and they are all have their own love story, and it's all like standalone-ish.
So it's kind of like Knock 'em Out.
Kind
but
of,
with
yeah.
more. Yeah.
And there's one of them that the guy, he gets injured, and he never talks about like what happened. Actually, all of them experienced some form of like trauma while they were wherever they were, and they don't really talk about it and they don't express it. But then the woman they fall in love with kind of helps them get through whatever it
Drags
is.
it out.
And then
So
there's
like Knox.
and then there's obviously some traumatic
Nash.
experience
Yeah.
where something happens to the lady, because naturally, why wouldn't it? There's the last book, because there's multiple series actually with this author in the same realm, kind of like a I don't know how else to explain it.
Like Alabama Family.
I guess, but like this one is just the brothers. They have
Yeah.
a sister too, one sister,
Yeah.
and the
God love
sister is in a completely different series, but it's like the same universe,
Same multiverse.
obviously. Yeah,
But like different people.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, different POVs.
So the last book in the Wilder Brothers series actually comes out this month. I pre-ordered it.
Really? Oh, you
I
actually
was
pre-ordered a book.
I did, because I was like, I can't just not finish it, you know? So, if you want something that's similar to this, more drawn out, and I want to say better written,
Yeah.
I would recommend that. I got the first book for free on one of those Amazon deal days, you know, where they just have a bunch of books for free.
Yeah.
And then I ended up just buying the rest of the series.
I have 2 notes that are worth mentioning. That's why I was skimming over while you were talking. They break in. Okay, so they're on an errand to take a Christmas basket to this guy who hates Christmas. They get there. There's a note on the door that says, "I'm not coming back until after Christmas." And so they're just like, "Okay, we're in a blizzard. The car is way down the hill. We hiked up here."
Yeah.
So they break in, eat the food they brought for the guy, had sex on his bearskin rug, burned his wood, and ate his food, like that was already there, and drank his wine. So nice people.
Yeah.
It cuts off when they kiss. Smut is a 0 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing that I liked about this book, which is, this is sound really bad, the only thing I liked about this book was how she was like, man, that's, like, he goes outside, turns on the generator, he talks to the guy that owns the cabin, and he goes back in, and she's like, well, this is sad, you know, Christmas Eve, no less, the guy died. So he was talking to his ghost, and, like, the ghost told him, don't mess it up with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that gave me chills. That made me feel like that was a redeeming quality for this book.
Yeah. I'll admit that, yeah.
It's still 2.
I think I gave it a 3. I'm sorry.
No, it's funny how you're giving them all 3s, I'm giving them all 2s.
It's like we flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Because usually I'm the
Normally
one that...
I'm like 5,
I'm
and
the
you're
one that's
like
harsh.
3. Yeah.
That's why I can't be a teacher. Unless I'm teaching math.
Yeah.
Because math, there's only one correct answer here.
Yeah.
If I wanted to be a history teacher, and we had to do like essays and stuff like that, if I had to assign essays, ain't no way I'd be able to figure out how to grade those essays. Because I'd just be like, well, what's correct?
Technically, they're not wrong.
Technically, they're not wrong.
Yeah. They're not right.
That's not how it happened.
Yeah.
But, you know, it'd be the same thing. You'd be critiquing their writing. And
Yeah. We're
clearly, I
obviously
don't know
really
how to
good
do
at that.
that. Yeah.
Okay, last one.
Last one.
Sugar Jamison. Have yourself a curvy little Christmas. Dina Gregory returns to New York for the holidays. Her mission, to locate her young son's father. Her surprise, his hot brother. Hot as in all caps. So.
Did you hate her name too?
Oh yeah, hated it.
Okay, good. No, it wasn't just me.
No, hated it. So Dina was knocked up and she left because baby daddy was like, nah, bro.
He said peace.
Yeah, he's a beast. So now she returns with 10-month-old son, Dash, to confront the baby daddy.
After being on a bus for 5 days.
Yeah, with a 10-month-old?
Yo.
Bruh.
Yo.
No.
How?
I don't even like going to Walmart with my kids. Screw a bus for 5 days. Baby daddy's dead, but his older brother is there, so she meets with him. They've met before, like, once or twice, and she always thought he hated her.
Yeah.
Kind of deal, yeah.
Which he did. But I think it was more of like a hatred towards his brother because his brother was awful.
Yeah, that, and he, like, got to live free and do whatever he
Yeah.
wanted to, and he sucked while doing it.
Yeah. One thing I just don't understand how anyone can do just ever is how they can just abandon their kid for any reason. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess it's just I like kids. So, like, I just can't imagine, like, for any reason just saying,
either.
peace, bro.
Yeah, like you,
Good luck.
honestly, like I've always felt that way, but then having your own and like feeling what you feel towards your own kids, it's like heartbreaking
Yeah.
to know there's parents or people who have children can do that. It's like kind of like,
Yeah.
bro, what's wrong with you? What broke
How?
in you? Yeah.
Like, that's literally a piece of you.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Did you like the fact that he wanted to raise Dash as his own and kept calling him son?
I kind of thought it was sweet.
I thought it was really sweet.
I
thought
don't
it was kinda
like-
sudden.
A little sudden.
Yeah.
I loved how he was spending time with Dash and like trying to like bond with him.
Yeah.
It was kind of cringy when he was just like, "Well, listen here, son."
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I didn't either.
But I still thought the sentiment.
And then
was
she
sweet.
kept calling him dad, like
Yeah.
like as a son, and I was just like, that's.
you-
I mean, he could be, but
They-
it's kind of weird.
Do you think they're gonna tell the kid that like, by the way, I know we
I
call
don't
him
think
Dad,
they were going to no,
but he's
because I
really your
mean,
uncle.
Dash looks like the uncle,
Yeah.
and they're getting married, and he's only 10 months old, so I
Yeah.
don't think anyone's gonna know.
Yeah.
But he always wanted to be a father, and I thought it was really sweet how now he got the chance because his wife died like 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of like, yeah, you guys can like live here, and we'll get married and stuff. And she's just like, okay,
Yeah. My brother died, but hey, let's get married.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. He was like, just stay till Christmas, and then you can like make your mind then. And then obviously it was like 2 or 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks away. Honestly, though, if a guy came into my life and he was rich and he was like, buy whatever you want to, I'll raise your kid, we'll be a big happy family, I would just be like,
There's a nanny.
and there's a nanny and there's cooks and stuff. I'm just like, girl, yeah, sign me up. And he's cute. He's not even ugly.
One thing that I was just like towards was they went to go get a real Christmas tree, and she referred to him as like a lumberjack, and I was just like, bro. Have you seen the TikToks of like that one guy who's a lumberjack?
Yes, I know exactly
And
what
then
you're talking
he
about.
takes
I'm not
that-
even on TikTok.
And he like cuts the wood in half, and then when he's done breaking it in half, he like rips off his suspenders, and he's just like, whew. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Dude, what's the Dobbs guy with the blue jeans that we like too?
oh,
It was making me
that's
think
his
of that
last
guy.
name.
That's his last name. Yeah, I don't know what his first name is.
I don't remember his first name
But
either,
it's
but
like
yeah,
Dobbs. I remember that because,
he's got cake.
well, yeah, I remember the cake. But my kid's godfather's wife's maiden name was Dobbs, and that's
Same.
the only reason
why I
can
remember
that. Yeah.
Not just because of the cake, but
Well,
that
cake
that
helps.
correlation there, you know.
I thought it was really sweet at the end, like the redeeming quality of instant marriage was that he invited her family to come
Yeah,
and
that was
visit,
really
and she hadn't talked to
sweet.
him because she was embarrassed because she's like, well, I was a complete turd and they don't like me, and so
Yeah.
he like called him up and was like, you guys need to come visit. I thought that was really, really sweet.
And they were like, "Mi familia."
Yeah, it reminded me of Encanto for some reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was expecting the floors to start moving.
One thing I did like about this one
Yeah.
was that, all the other ones, it was all like 12 hours later, you're the love of my life.
Yeah.
Or one
This
day
one
later,
had
you're the love of my
time
life.
to build
This
up.
one was like 2 to 3 weeks, which
Yeah.
is still a little
So
sudden,
fast. Yeah.
but is way more realistic
Yeah.
compared to like these other ones. Like if I'm dating a guy and like 3 weeks in, he's just like, "I love you," then I'd be like,
Bro, chill.
"Okay."
I
Chill, but
love,
okay.
I love you. Yeah. Let's get married.
Yeah.
Not
No,
what
no,
it's
no.
in.
Not
No.
not then.
No.
Give it a little more time.
Like my family has this thing where you don't marry someone until you see them in financial trouble, until they've lost somebody, until they've financial greatness, until they've gained a lot of things in their life, so that way you can see how they react towards all aspects of life
That's
before you
smart.
get married. Yeah. So it's just because some people completely change depending on how much money they have, how much money they don't have, who they gain, who they lost, like who they lose, who they lost. Yeah, but no, like people can completely change like that over certain instances
I think another thing that couples really should do is like live together before they
before
get
getting married. Yes,
because like what if you like you're having the time of your life, separate lives, whatever, and then you move in with one another
shell shocked.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
ugh.
What's that? the high-pitched ringing sound that normally adds,
Tinnitus?
brrr, yeah, just like that's what's happening with the chaos around you.
Oh, yeah, the TV thing.
Yeah.
No,
No, honestly, if Nick did not live with me for almost 2 years before we got married, I probably would have been mad. Which I was used to his crap by then.
Yeah.
So.
Our mutual ex, when he and I dated, he did not want to move in together or anything like that before. He was like super Christian or something.
Engaged?
Even engaged. Like, he was like, no. And I'm like,
yeah,
bro.
like, I can understand, like, waiting until you're engaged.
Yeah.
Because, then you can still call off the wedding.
Yeah.
But, like, no. I think people need to live together.
But, I mean, I think it might have just been because he didn't want to do it with me.
I don't know. Yeah.
So, that's a red flag I should have seen and should have been like, bye, sis.
Yeah, bro. And my husband, he just stopped going home.
Yeah, I remember you said that. And he was just like, well, he never went back home.
He just stopped going home. Eventually, his mom was like, hey, come here. And he was just like, okay, go.
Yeah.
What did you rate this one?
I did give this one a 4.
I gave it a 5, but I'm going to lower it to a 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I really did enjoy it more than the other ones, but I think if I read just this one by itself, it would not have been a 5.
Yeah.
But compared to the rest of them, it's a 5.
Yeah, I agree.
So this whole book, I'm probably going to give it a 3, because it's 2, 4, so 3.
I did 3.5.
3.5 for the whole book.
Because that's about right in between.
It wasn't terrible. It was a good palate cleanser.
Good palate cleanser.
Yeah.
I think each one of them, if they were their own separate books.
And they had more.
More? Then it definitely would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I don't know if I'd recommend it, though.
This is like giving me like a inspiration to take each story and try to expand it myself.
Yes.
Like this is what this is. So if you need like inspiration for writing, I would say
I would definitely
read
get
this
it from other ones, yeah.
and then expound upon that.
See where it goes.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Well, do we have anything we need to mention at the end of this one?
We got an email.
We have an email at biblioaudiopod@gmail.com. You can email us recommendations.
And we got an Instagram.
Gang. You forgot the name of it, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. It's at Biblio Audio Podcast. So I'm a little slack in there, but that's due to technical difficulties because my phone is being a butthole because it says there's no storage on it. So it's not letting me download anything. So we're just living the high life there.
So, like, her laptop died. So she's like, okay, I got a new laptop. And now her phone's just like, bye.
Suicide.
It's just like, outie. So,
Peace.
You're going to try to get a new phone tomorrow, maybe?
I think so.
Next week? Yeah, she's not getting text messages.
No,
phone
like,
calls,
I've been, like,
anything.
all afternoon, I've been, like, looking at my watch, because I'm bougie with an Apple Watch, and I've been reading my text messages and responding to them from there. Yeah. Like, I'm in the middle of work, and I'm just, like, pressing, because I didn't really want to, like, write it out.
Yeah.
No, because I didn't have the keyboard, I was, like, writing it.
Yeah.
So I just pressed the voice button, and you just see me doing this, and it's like, I'm, like, some secret agent. Because I'm, like... What did I said something to someone.
Left the nest.
I think I was like...
I found this on the web.
Thanks. I was like, excuse me, but I'm always right. Like, in the middle of work with other people around me. And I'm like, I don't really care.
I always forget that I'm around people.
I really don't care. So I'm just like...
Yeah.
And then I told people, I'm like, listen, if you need to get in contact with me, do not text me. Call me. Because my phone is being a butthole. And it won't give me text messages.
I know, that's terrible. You're having a new one.
I'm going to have to.
But anyway, so yeah, if we're running a little bit behind on posts and uploading because her technology sucks and my life sucks. So
does mine.
Yeah, well.
We're just leaving La Vida Loca over here.
We are, really,
That's
honestly.
my favorite phrase.
So if we are behind on posts and stuff, we're incredibly sorry. We have been, like, super busy with birthday parties and Christmases. And
working around work schedules
technology.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
It's been rough, but we are still planning things and we are still thinking about you guys very often.
Yeah. So we'll see y'all next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.